At 76, I've found most things in life are fleeting, but there are a few that last forever. Here's my list of 10 things to live by. Number 1, life is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep on running. Some of us, because of birth or circumstances, have started behind in life. It seems we have to work harder and longer just to reach the starting line. Yet others seem to run through life so easily, successful at everything they do. But too often those who run fast don't have the endurance needed for the marathon. Keep your eyes on the prize and never quit running. Number 2, try a different road. You might like the journey more. Sometimes when I'm driving a familiar road, I purposely take a different route because that forces me to pay more attention to my journey. I remember driving through West Texas on the Interstate 10 with my family when on a whim, we decided to take Route 90 through the desolate Big Bend region. So instead of driving mindlessly for hours on the interstate, we discovered the mystical lights in Marfa, the Gage Cowboy Hotel in Marathon, Judge Roy Bean's historic saloon in Langtree on the Rio Grande River, and most important, we took our first of many trips through Big Bend National Park, and 40 years later, we're still going back there. Number 3, be willing to start over one more time. Church calls it grace. I call it survival. I once heard the story of a man who wanted to create an alternative to Coca-Cola. It was a clear, refreshing drink that he had in mind. He called it One Up. But no one was interested. So he tinkered with the formula and tried to market it again, this time calling it 2-Up. But again, it failed to sell. He reworked the formula and the sales program again and again. But after 6 times, he gave up and sold his formula to a man who tried something just a little different. That man called it 7-Up, and the rest is history. Number 4, it's our failures that develop calloused hands and a tender heart needed for success. When we think of Thomas Edison, we remember all his inventions, all of his successes. But every one of those successes were the results of dozens, even hundreds of failed experiments. His most notable invention, the light bulb, was the result of more than 1,000 failures. So don't be afraid to fail. If something isn't working, go in another direction. At least you know what doesn't work. It's only a wrong direction if you don't turn around and try it again. Number 5, life is written in pencil. We get a lot of second chances. Too many of us keep score in ink. And when we make a mistake, it's constantly glaring up at us, always reminding us of our failure. But life is actually written in pencil, and we've been given a very big eraser to remove all our mistakes. Use that eraser every chance you get. Number 6, an oak tree never bends, never adapts to the changing weather. But a palm tree bends until the wind stops blowing. Be a palm tree. One of the reasons I bought my house in Texas was because of the 2 majestic oak trees in the front yard. They must be 60 feet tall and cover nearly the entire yard with much needed shade all summer. To me, they symbolize unbending strength, power, endurance. But you don't see many oak trees in Florida, do you? That's because the hurricane winds can blow 100 miles per hour or more. They can level entire neighborhoods. But do you know what survives in Florida with the hurricanes? Palm trees, because they bend nearly to the ground when facing a hurricane. Sometimes strength means we have to bend, adapt, and change to survive. Number 7, there's a place where the law ends and people begin. Focus on people. During the Civil War, a young private was brought before General Lee. He was charged with falling asleep on guard duty, and in war, that's punishable with death. He was shaking so badly that General Lee said to him, "You don't have to worry, son. "You'll get justice from me." The private looked up at him, still shaking, and said, "I know, General. That's what scares me." You see, when we've done wrong, we deserve punishment. We expect punishment. But what we don't expect is mercy. General Lee didn't execute that boy, even though the law required it. He showed him mercy. And he not only saved one life, but he changed the lives of everyone that boy ever met over the next 60 years. That single act of mercy can change the world. Number 8, be hope to the hopeless. Be a changed life. I was raised in the church to believe in hope. Today, when I work with many women and men coming from prison to help them restart their lives, I try to share with them that hope. But hungry, cold people living alone on the street don't care about my 2 degrees in theology and my 3rd degree in psychology. All they want to know is that I care. So I share my faith by asking one simple question. Are you hungry? That's the only theology they understand. Number 9, be a dreamer. Bobby Kennedy once said, "Some men see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask, why not?" Don't be afraid to dream big. Number 10, above all, be curious. I've gone from homeless to business owner to a published author. At 53, I founded Good Samaritan Home to help people restart their lives after prison. At 61, I finished my doctorate. At 75, after a lifetime of experiences and 10 years writing, I published my debut novel. And finally, at 76, I saw an ad for extras, walk-ins, for a movie series being filmed in a nearby town. So I submitted my name and I was hired. Now I can add actor to my resume. It's never too late to change your life as long as you keep trying, as long as you remain curious. Thanks for listening, folks.